kind of a debate. I'm not there either, but I'm just saying that like it doesn't
Mhm.
seem maybe the health, but like you would ooh,
Oh,
look.
Cleo.
Oh,
Wait,
wow.
what's that, 173? With the
Is that
plus, is that healing?
that is fire, Cleo. Nice work, man.
Time to scroll. Let's see what that is. Oh, there it is. Oh, a
But
health
let me ask you a
buff.
question, Cleo. Do you use any of those class features over others? Because it seems some of the older class features would benefit more than these. Except, I mean, maybe the health one is a little nice, but I'm just curious as to can can you show your feature setup, like what you use? Yeah, that's
Damn.
yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, so he is using one of the, I think the health one. It looks like
Yeah,
I
the
forgot.
second last one.
Yeah, the second from last one. Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us. It's another Sunday stage event. I'm joined with the stage crew. We got Guppy, Draco, and Sultan joining us on stage today for more information, news, and some speculation on this new insect. We're going to get to that a little later. But for everyone in the chat, the live chat is open. So if you want to chat with the stage team or chat amongst yourselves, please join the live chat. Live IDs is open, so please post your live IDs so we can get you a special gift. We are streaming live on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. So we are now multi-streaming on 3 platforms. Go over, like, share, and comment on there if you want. Also share with your alliance members after the fact so you can disseminate this information out to all your members. We're working on TikTok next. We'll be focusing on getting the TikTok up and running so we can hit all platforms simultaneously. So I want to thank everyone for the support, and without further ado, Sultan, take it away.
All right. So we do have quite a discussion today to go over with everyone. One of the first topics that I would like to kind of go over is some of these additions that have now taken effect since the last update. Um, the one that everyone has been patiently waiting for, we got to see when the VIP store opened up this week, and that is the introduction of lava cores to the VIP um, store. So that, in my opinion, is a huge, huge improvement that many
Mhm.
players have been asking for. Um, so to kind of explain the lava core and how it helps your account. Lava core is used in the meteorite building for the first two portions of it. And basically, every time you collect 50 lava core, you are able to gain stat improvements, most importantly, being combat speed. So for level 1 and level 2 of the improvements, which cost 50 lava core each, you will see an increase of 15 combat speed to your account. And then when you jump from level 2 to level 3, you see a 20 point increase uh, in combat speed. So, in order to have open the lava core ability to get from the VIP store, you have to be VIP 11 or higher. And they are offering 2 lava cores per week at a cost of 10,000 diamonds each. We last week when we were discussing it, we didn't quite know how much um, was going to be offered, and we didn't know what the cost was going to be. So, me personally, I thought it was going to be um, about 20,000 diamonds, maybe 30,000 diamonds. And I was hoping they were going to offer 2 lava cores per week. But I thought there was a possibility that they would only offer one, similar to the bioessence. So I'm very happy personally that they are giving 2, and I'm very happy that the cost is 10,000 diamonds. What do you guys
Mhm.
think?
Well, for me personally, I gotta say, I was actually shocked that's only 10,000 diamonds because I was thinking it was going to be something like you said, bio 20 for just one, or who knows, like my mind was kind of wandering and maybe it might be 25,000 for one, but having it so cheap and I would have liked to see, maybe 3 lava cores because players need like a decent amount to be able to level up. But
Well, so that's the
mhm,
thing, okay? This is why I was worried that one lava core was going to be offered only. So, like, if you look at if you look at like ways to get combat speed, right? Like, um, you have obviously getting VIP 15 is very important
mhm,
to increase combat speed, and then you know uh, the meteorite building now, obviously, or meteorite evolution. But prior to that, in order to gain combat speed, really the only way to do it was like through bioessence, right? So
mhm,
get to level 1 on you have your 4 mutations: cells, genes, germs, fungi, right? So to get to level 1, you need 50 bioessence to open up from 0 to 1, right? To get that
mhm,
first bump up in combat. And after that, you need 100 to go from level 1 to 2. Okay. And then once you hit level 2, there's no more combat speed increase in that. I think um, that we know of, right? I know some players who already have level 5 opened up on it, and there's still no combat speed increase beyond that. Um, so it takes a while, right? Like it takes a while to gain those combat speed improvements through bioessence. And then the only way to get bioessence really is either in the season stores, or if you're on server through AE. And then through AE, you either get 3 or 4, depending on if you won your AE, right? And then one more you can purchase in the VIP store. So um, it takes a while, right? It takes a while to get that improvement. So the fact that they're offering 2 lava core, and it costs 50 per level, um, that is the new chase. So I really highly recommend to players, especially players in newer servers, grab up that lava core. Okay, like grab it up as soon as you can every time. That's probably one of the most important items to grab in the VIP store now, because you have the potential, if you can get your first and second um, up to level 3 on the meteorite building, you wind up gaining basically you're going to gain 15, 15, and 20. So you're at 50 combat speed increase on each one, which is basically 100 combat speed added to your account from the meteorite evolution. So you're going to definitely want to grab as many of those lava cores as possible, because at 2 per week, it's going to take you about 25 weeks in order to get the increase. Now obviously those 2 portions have been out for a while, so people might be already at level 3 on the first one, or they might be at level 2, depending on whether or not they purchased petals, or got lava core through the packs or whatnot. But yeah, and some people are obviously even further than that if you were buying every pack. But for the free to play or light spenders, most of them are going to be probably at level 2 on one of them, and maybe even at level 0 on another. So, um, you know, grabbing up those lava cores is definitely going to be something that's pretty important. So that improvement to the game and them adding it to the VIP store really, in my opinion, served a couple purposes. Like the devs listened, right? A lot of people went to suggestions on official. A lot of people contacted, you know, their fairies. I know a lot of the staff went to customer care and, inquired about it. And it's nice. They listened and they put it in the VIP store where every player can grab it. So I'm pretty satisfied with how the devs handled that. I wish they did it like at the same time that they changed the meteorite. It would have been like a couple more weeks of us being able to grab a couple lava cores, but they did come out with it, and I'm happy with the release and how they did it.
Yeah, exactly, right? Because I still remember, even myself, I was one lava core away when they just completely took it out, and there was no way for anyone to get some more besides going through the crater exploration, hitting
Well, you could
certain levels.
you could also buy the packs, but in order to do it, you would have to have spent $9.99 on the first pack and then $49.99 on the next pack to get a lava core. And I mean, you're talking $60 for one core is quite an investment, and most no free to play players and most even spenders are not chasing after that so much, right? So.
Exactly. So honestly, like it didn't seem like a fair deal, especially I knew a couple free to play. Even last stage or the stage before that, I was talking to someone in chat who was also one away, and I believe they were free to play. So that was a bummer for a lot of players, right? Because here I posted a screenshot of the different levels, and like you said, so that's a big jump for combat speed. And combat speed is extremely important when it comes to player versus player battle fights. So having that in there, it's nice. It's still going to take quite a long time to even get 50 lava cores in total just from the VIP store, but at least it's something. So I was pretty happy with that.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Also, kind of while we're on the subject of like this being added as a good incentive for free to play players and whatnot. The other thing that I want to discuss is and kind of I want to check on staff here and see and our audience. Where are we on the collaboration? There are a couple items here that are typically not available for free to play players. You've got a nice dash of exotic shells. There's 5 potential. You have a pretty cool skin. You have an ornament that can help boost some stats. Some of those big cells and other mutation material all available in the store, and we still have 14 days to add points to it. As you can see, that this is my personal. I'm at 5210 right now. I'm definitely saving up for the hill skin because that number one, I think it's super cool. I love the snake, and secondly, it's to me it's a nice little stat improvement for your general stats. So
yeah, because it's all soldier and attack plus 0.5%. Right? So, and it's a skin. So, if you're bored of the same old skin that we all use once in a while, nice little snaky snake skin is pretty cool.
What are you going for, Draco? I mean, like, do you have like a wish list on here?
Honestly, I'm at 5,000 points right now, and I'm for sure going to go for the Serpent's Way because, little tack is always nice for me to have. But you know, you mentioned that we still have 14 days left of this event. So, Cleo, honestly, if I could, everything I'll take. But I'm just wondering how much more points is everyone still going to be able to achieve, right? Like, are we able to get the hill skin and the Jade Mantis ornament for an all soldier ants health plus 0.2%?
I
Like,
mean, only time will tell. I mean, those are the two, like in that order that I'm gonna go for. I'm gonna go for the skin first, and then the ornament, and then see how many points I have after that. Maybe get the frame, but I might go for the exotics. I don't know. You know,
oh yeah,
I'm just gonna
yeah,
wait and see. But for sure, the hill skin's like top priority, and then secondly, the ornament for me. Because I
yeah.
like any type of stat improvement, right? So I'm gonna chase after the things that help the account.
Hmm.
There's no real boost from the frame, but if people like the frame, go for it. I mean, whatever you want to do. Now, one of the most important things with these collaborations is obviously active participation. You definitely want to, um, do your daily things because there are a lot of points that are available in these events that can be chased in order to get those points so you can spend it in that collaboration store. Um, you know, I wasn't very good at this Flappy Bird event. Those are the top score I was able to get was like 684. But I did it every day, and I gather, I did all my daily in order to gain the crystals so you could have more tries. And I think if you got 5,000 total points, you're able to max out the collaboration points that you could get from that. Besides the ranking rewards. um, Personally, I wasn't very good at the Flappy Bird. There were players in my range that definitely got way higher scores. I think I saw some players with like 12 or 13,000 points, and they wound up getting like 800 collaboration points. So that whole Flappy Bird thing for me personally wasn't that great, but I do like that event because it is like a skill based event, right? Like if you're good at
Hmm.
it, you had the opportunity to do it, and so what I like about it is the humongous whales that always wind up getting like the top scores and top points in it um, didn't necessarily happen on this portion of the event. So if you had the skill or the ability to do well on it, you wound up getting a bunch of extra collaboration points. So I kind of like that aspect of it.
Yeah, because I'm just checking now. I think this is it. I ranked number 29. My highest
Wow.
was
Wow.
847 meters.
Yeah.
So,
So
you know,
You guys are talking about Anxiety Bird again. Can we get
yes,
your
the
favorite,
anxiety bird.
your
I,
favorite anxiety
I
bird right here.
oh my god, that Anxiety Bird, bro. Oh. I tried to use the iPad and the pencil, like the iPad pencil, it didn't do me any good. It did not get better.
So currently there is we're already into the next like feature of the event. I posted a little video here showing we have this Elro Balladorado snake is now attacking the injured Kamuku, and the whole point of this current event is you're supposed to feed the Komoku some healing potions and also build a squirter defense tower to prevent him from getting attacked. Um, Now, MC here in the audience indicated that there are some ways to make sure your server does better in this. So if you do your daily tasks every day, you get a maximum of 40 points of like mud and then the healing material for Komoku. And the mud goes towards building the squirter defense platform, and the healing potion goes to the Komoku. And you have to like basically send it like a march to each of those. And then as you do that, there are personal points that can be earned and also server points on each item. So the alliance points are, they give you some RSS, and then of course the collaboration points, and the personal points give you a lot more collaboration points. So you have a potential of getting 500 collab points from the personal points, and you have potential to get 20, 40, 60, 100 more from the alliance portion. So if you're a totally free to play player or not bothered, 40 out of 40, as long as you do enough daily tasks to gain the maximum. And then you have to march those over to the Komoku and the Squirter, and you will wind up having those points added. I think the math comes out to about 20% per day is necessary to finish this within the time and get the max collaboration points. So it's definitely something everyone in your alliance and server, well, most in this case, it's alliance. So personally and alliance, you definitely want to push them to build that up, so that way everyone can get the max collab points on it. If you guys are a little bit behind, there are a couple packs that can be purchased. I think one's $4.99, which gives you 40 mud and 40 Komoku healing item. What's it called? What is that called? On the Komoku, I think it's called
Komuko? Komuko?
No, there's it's like a healing potion or whatever to try to heal him. Like you're supposed to feed him to heal him. And for $4.99, it gives you 40 more, and then it opens up another pack that's $9.99, and it opens up another 80 more on each one. So you
It's
can.
called. Oh, sorry to cut you off.
If your alliance is a little bit smaller or whatever, some players could purchase those to make sure you hit that 20% per day in order to max it out. Kind of helps everybody in your alliance, really. There is no ranking reward on this, so just keep that in mind. If you want to max out the collaboration points to get more items out of that collaboration store, you're going to want to kind of chase after that monster nutrient. That's it. Thank you, Cleo. Was what I was looking for. So, I think again that is any advantages you can get for participation is definitely something that's nice to chase, because you're basically getting some free improvements. That's one of the reasons I really like all these collaboration events. I liked Godzilla for this same reason, and I definitely like this one. I think this one is kind of jumping off a little bit better. I think that we kind of know what we're doing because we had the Godzilla event before. So like this is following in that path. It's been a while, so like I don't remember every aspect of it, but I like I like any of these events that showcase and give advantages to players that are most active, right? As long as you log in every day, you do your daily chores, whatever during this collaboration event, you have the opportunity to at a minimum, get the 6,000 points and get the hill skin, which is, in my opinion, something that looks cool and is definitely a benefit to the account.
And it's a lot more better looking than the hill skin that we got from Godzilla, in my opinion.
Correct.
Right. So honestly, and plus to have noticed the animation for this collab is a lot better than Godzilla. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, Coolio. I've noticed that too. This Serpent Hill skin is exactly like Godzilla's skin, but you just have a nice, cool looking snake on top. Let's see, let me get a screenshot of that. Where is it at? Oh, there it is. Perfect. One. But yeah, honestly, like for me, I've been enjoying this event a lot more than Godzilla. And like Soul said, like we kind of had a feeling of what to expect. So, it was pretty nice. There was still some mystery behind everything, but tied in pretty well.
Absolutely.
There we go. So literally it's almost the exact same thing. You still got those purple crystals, but you got a nice looking snaky snake coming out of the top.
It's a little different. There's like mushrooms on the dorsal fin of the Godzilla, no mushrooms on the. But it is definitely a cool skin, I think. I like the snake aspect. So,
yeah, for sure.
Will there be a new ant release with this event or insect? Definitely does not look like there's going to be an insect. The skin was the insect that was released. So it doesn't look like an insect. We have yet to see whether an ant will be released. I would have expected it this week. So when they offered like Jay as part of the current low tide shore event, I thought it would have been an ant, a new ant, but it does not look like that. Now we have 14 more days to go, so it's quite possible that they will offer an ant along with next portion, which is going to be offering probably, for sure it's going to offer the hill skin. So you saw that, Draco, if you could post the Komoku hill skin, the purchasable one. So whatever event comes out next, sure it's going to offer the hill skin. It'll probably offer the March skin and the insect skin, just like this one is offering the March skin and the insect skin if you did not grab them already. But so like the next event for sure is going to offer the hill skin, and then we'll see if a new ant is. I think it was Crimson Pearl was released with last Godzilla event, so
yeah, it was Crimson Pearl.
We could see a new.
Honestly, I think we will.
I think we will too. Like EJ did come out right before this, so but EJ has also in the older servers has been released enough to where players have already gotten the 6 dupes necessary to 8-star it. So I think if they're going to release an ant, it'll definitely be when they release whichever event they release the hill skin with. We do not have any information yet on when EJ will be available in 1,000+ servers. So that's going to have to be a standby. Now, what I do want to discuss, and I think I'm going to have Guppy come in here, is we do have a new insect that was released, which is technically not quite a new insect, just maybe a refaced insect. But I'm going to have Guppy go over that a little bit. So this insect is available in the insect pack. So the monthly insect pack. This red crown spider has officially been released, and we can see the stats along with the max stats and the talent tree. So Guppy, what's your opinion of this? And if you can give us a little breakdown of what your thinking is on this insect.
I think it's the devs giving a little, you know, a little loving to the lighter spenders, or even free to play. I mean, um, all it takes is $25 to pick it up, which is really amazing when you think about it. Considering it is identical to Godzilla in absolutely every way. The talent tree as well. The hunter talent tree and the what is it? The brisk talent tree. They're identical.
Mhm.
The stats on it is identical, and the skill is identical. Um, what's really interesting though is will that be able to be used as a helper with Godzilla? Because if it is, I mean, the skills themselves stacking would be kind of interesting, and it
Yeah.
might actually bring life back to Godzilla.
Yeah. I mean, currently Godzilla, there was during the Godzilla event, there was the opportunity to grab two Godzillas, but you
Mhm.
cannot use Godzilla as a helper with Godzilla, even if you grab two copies of it, right? During the event. That's not an aspect of the game. So once players do grab this red crown spider, because we have to wait the 30 days, we'll be able to see if Godzilla could be used, because typically players that have Godzilla are using either Mantis or Devil Flower as the helper. So you're saying that adding Godzilla as a helper to this will definitely be an improvement, right?
I mean, it's stacking their skills together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm really curious to see how strong that would be.
Yeah. So that's especially with the current ants that are available, right? Like if someone's got, let's say, the Dolly Weaver Wise Berserker combo, how that'll play into Red Crown with a Godzilla helper, I think that would be a pretty significant improvement to a march like that, don't you?
Yeah, I would definitely be focusing on that march specifically, just like Godzilla was. Um, but it should be interesting. To be honest, it might actually bring that combo back up to the top again.
Yeah.
Mhm.
MC
Yep.
actually just pointed out something we discussed yesterday too in the stage last week, that the other aspect with the improvement in that insect plan, now that it has added the hornet, iron beetle, whip scorpion, the insect legend metal is now attainable for much lighter spenders, right? Like, so if someone were to grab that pack, let's say, and they didn't have those insects, or over the next couple months grab the pack, they'll be able to like get a hornet, get an iron beetle, get a whip scorpion, and boom, they get to max out that insect legend metal, which is going to give them increased attack and defense in Duel of Queens, along with 2% all soldier ants health. So that's definitely something. Those insects. I mean, if you think about it, those insects when they came out were $300 each, right? At least during events. So
Oh yeah, at least.
you're talking $900 worth of insects that today, through the insect plan, you would be able to get for $24 each. So for $75, you're getting $900 worth of insects, and the potential to get this metal, right? And of course, the metal will help you get further in Duel of Queens. Maybe players that were on the verge of not being able to get into they'll be able to get more crystals, which more crystals then turns around and helps you grab more materials that you're able to get from the stores for Duel of Queens. So it's kind of like a domino effect. So I like that, this is that they've introduced those insects into that. And of course, it closes the gap, right? As players are grabbing the insects, it closes the gap amongst players that are, always grab the newest, latest, and greatest insect, because there's always improvements as the insect generations come out, as we've discussed plenty of times before. You and I were discussing earlier. Guppy. Hera, right?
Yeah, paraternys.
Yeah. So, what has some of your testing come out with that? Most people that chased after this are carrier mains, right?
Right.
So, because it is.
I mean, what a lot of people don't understand is paraternys. I mean, can add dodge effect to absolutely every march, right? So having that, let's say you're running the meta march right now, or even like GSS. Try adding dodge on top of that. It's absolutely nuts. I mean, a lot of people haven't even thought about it, and you don't really see a lot of people using it. In fact, I've only seen one person throughout my entire time since Paratrainies has been out actually use it for shooters, and it's absolutely nuts to add the dodge effect to any march.
So you're basically, if utilizing it with shooters, or GSS, like you said, you're gaining that dodge advantage that so far has only been available really for carriers, right? But adding that with the punch that shooters give against enemies, right? So,
Exactly.
in a sense, the shooters are able to last further and further rounds, where in the past, shooters have always really been glass cannons, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, especially if someone's got some pretty high, health stats, adding dodge on top of that, it's crazy.
You've been testing that out a little yourself?
I plan to. I'm currently building up my shooter march, getting my T10s for my shooters, and then I'll probably be switching over to shooters with paraternys.
Wow. Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Ironic.
yeah. I mean, he
Another,
brought it up.
another carrier main bites the dust.
Well, we'll see.
One down, hundreds to go.
Oh man, carriers. It's kind of such a love hate. I mean, they are like, there's, I don't know. Have you noticed this, Guppy? But like, to me, it seems that this game rotates around based on how they release the ants, and like how the metas are set up. Like, shooters have kind of always been this great main to have, because they're very powerful, but obviously they don't last long in battle, because like I said, they're glass cannons, right? But for the most part, like, a majority of players are shooter mains. And then for a long time, guardians were like, all of a sudden some of these guardian ants came out that made them really potent against the shooters. And then carriers have had ants that have come out that have like made them very potent against the guardians. And it kind of rotates around when these insects, like, what's best to have. Like, even like, to me, EJ was almost a release of something to counter the fact that these carrier marches were just slaughtering a lot of these shooter marches, right? So it's kind of switching back now to shooters, or even like these mixed formations, like you said, GSS, or I've seen even GGS marches do very good. So,
Well, I mean, a lot of people aren't really paying attention to the complete guard march too. I mean, I think that's slowly crawling up to where it's being, unstoppable. Yeah, I mean, it's so tanky. I don't know if anybody's realized, when they're kicking out an all guardian march out of a tower, even if you were to win that fight completely, right? Maybe you're killing, I don't know, like 30, 40,000 of them, and they still have like 200,000 live, 250,000 live. But just for the fact that you were the one who maybe took out more troops than they did, you end up winning, but you don't actually completely take out their march.
Yeah. MC here is making a very good point here. GGG with VJ Ansys Beast. I am like dying to get some bicolor and the heart butt dupe so I can get some stars on those to, beef up my GGG march. And it allow me to like move my Ada Sextons into my GSS march. Because I'm kind of forced to use that as a frontline ant for now, because of just the ability to have it start up the way it is. But he's 100% right. Like you're like you just mentioned, when it comes to like event style fighting, the importance is not only doing massive damage to the enemy so that they're blowing through their fungi and stamina per march, but you also want to conserve your own fungi, because I mean, it's like some of these battles on some of these events are lasting 5-6 hours, right? You're fighting for a long time, and every time your troop is getting kicked out of a tower, you run the risk of like blowing through fungi, and you can't last that long, and going through stamina and whatnot. And so having a tanky march is definitely something good, I think.
It definitely is.
So and I think that's part of the reason why players switch to this GSS march, right? From having an all shooter march, or they want to they got to hold out longer in the towers, or they have to like inflict more damage on the enemy, and it's hard to do it when you have an all shooter march, and you get hit a couple times by some of the players, and they're knocking you out of the tower. Then you got to heal, send back. You're blowing through fungi a lot faster that way, right?
Oh yeah, I
So
mean that's for sure.
and that's kind of also been the love of carriers, right? Because I mean, if you really think about it, shooters are glass cannons. They're doing the most damage, but they're also getting injured. Um, to the point where you're spending more fungi to keep them in the fight. And Guardians are not necessarily doing as much damage to the enemy, but they're tanky, so they're staying in the fight longer. And then carriers are kind of an in between the two, right? I mean, if you really think about it, obviously, you're going to want to counter, as you're fighting, but that's not, most players don't have the ability to switch up their formations to a point where they can counter a strong enemy, right? It's like you usually are mained in something and dependent on your teammates to have the counter against other enemies when we're playing in these events. So, having a good variety is always good within your alliance. But I don't know. It's definitely going to be interesting to see how, I want to see what the next insect's going to be. That's definitely something I'm looking forward to.
Well, I think what I think it would be a guardian insect next.
You think so?
I think so.
Maybe.
Yeah, it would, because we got Rainbow Scarab, like minus the synergy, Guardian, Mantis, Shooter, and then this Terra Carrier. So to me, I think it's going to be Guardian next.
But the thing is, like, this generation of insects that came out was unique compared to the previous generations. Like previous generations, you would have, like you said, Guardian, then Shooter, then Carrier Insect, then Universal Insect would come out, or whatever order, right? But this current generation, they're technically all universal. And as Guppy was stating, Hera is now looking to be good even with shooters. It's a universal insect that has synergy with carriers, but it's able to be used. And like for the GSS formations, a lot of players that have rainbow scarab or the boxer mantis, they're doing very, very well with those insects, even in mixed formations or like for me, I have rainbow scarab, right, as my highest level insect. I'm utilizing that insect in Tango for every single march type, right? Like, doesn't matter. I'll throw shooters in. I'll change around the helper based on whichever march I'm doing against the Pango. But, I like the fact that you were able to pick and choose one of these universal insects with synergy. I don't know if that's how they're going to continue or if they're going to go back to having a specific type insect in the next generation. What do you guys think?
I think they're going to go back to type specific.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I have to say the same. And then who knows, maybe the generation after the next one to be released might, fall back in line with synergies and might be different instead of having universal with the certain type synergies. Maybe they might mix it up with something different. Who knows?
Yeah.
But either way, I am excited to see what kind of insects they will be releasing, with looks wise, because so far they've been decent amount.
Ulexi's got maybe some insider information over here, or a nice guess. Dual typing. That would be interesting, right? Like,
Well, I mean, isn't that what the universals are right now? Is dual
but
type?
yeah, but they're synergized. So for example, what's better? Having the rainbow scarab for a GSS march or having the mantis for a GSS march?
I think it depends on what you're running.
It does depend on what you're running, but what happens if they come out with an insect that is a guardian shooter synergy, right? Like it's created for that GSS march, or or they have one that's created for maybe a CSS march or a GGS march. You know what I'm saying? Like that would definitely be a beding, right?
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, like, think about it. If they come out with an insect that is GSS specific, like so many players are running that right now. I mean, every event I go to, it seems that I'm facing all these GSS marches, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that would be from a revenue aspect. I think Star Union would get a lot of people going after that.
Oh yeah, like let's say it's a guardian shooter insect and the guardian part will improve, the defense or damage reduction of the front line for all guardians. And then all shooters get like a critical attack buff. That would be amazing. But at the same time, would the helper can be a guardian insect and also a shooter insect?
well, I mean,
That's
if they did the type specific insects right now, right? Let's say they dropped the guardian shooter carrier type specific insect. I mean, it would be the same thing as that dual synergy. I mean, you could use that insect with the universal, or vice versa.
Oh, back to my idea of having a universal insect. Just saying, I'm throwing it out there.
I think I told you this before, right? Like the idea of having like universal or synergy, right? Would be having a synergy if you had every type of ant, right? Every type of troop type in the squad. So going to like guardian, carrier, shooter. You know what I mean?
Right. What is that not an evolution of the game though? Is that not something that would be an evolution of the game to have?
I mean,
Try that.
I mean, it would definitely be interesting. I feel like they'd have to come out with a lot more ants that synergize with each other, though.
Yeah.
Hmm. I'm
Right.
very curious.
And how would that lineup look? Like, would you go guard, carry, or shooter? Shooters in the back, but don't the back lines usually get annihilated first?
I mean, if you're going up against like EJ, yeah.
Right.
um, but I don't know. It's interesting to think about. I mean, I don't know how I would see that lineup because I don't know which ants would actually work with it
That's
Hmm.
always that's always the issue.
unless they started dropping universal ants.
Oh, making a fourth class universal ants.
I mean, we
Adding
have
a,
you know,
adding another class. Oh my god, I'm
no,
stressing
no,
over
no,
the
no. I'm not
I'm
talking about.
stressing over the creature remains right now.
I'm not talking about soldiers. Special ants. If they start dropping more universal special ants.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. I honestly am surprised they haven't released something like that for insect wise. But for soldier ants, that would be very interesting. Like, would they be just, straight across the board average for everything, or
I mean,
No,
if they dropped
no,
another class
Cleo.
of soldier type,
oh my gosh, I think we
No,
are
no, no. I'm gonna get T10s. I'm gonna get my T10s in like the next 2 weeks. So I struggled to do that. I struggled to get those T10s. Like, there's sometimes where I have to which T10. I'm going shooter T10 first, and then I'm working on the guard tree next. I wasted a couple months of my life with health issues, so I was a little bit behind the group that I was with. So I'm like 2 months behind them. Everyone else has got their T10s. I'm 2 months. So I mean, but if you add another T10 tree of another type of insect, oh please, please don't.
I don't think that's going to be the case.
I don't think so either.
I think the thing is, in the older servers right now, there are a lot of players that are approaching maxing all evolution. So there's definitely going to have to be something that comes out from the standpoint of Star Union, because once players have maxed out all of the evolution.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Leo.
Wow.
Ooh. I got him beat though on that.
Oh boy. Let's see it.
He's got me beat on the chasing after the
Barriers?
No. He's got me beat on the chasing after the construction, but I think I got him on the evolution tree.
Oh, are you maxed on all
Oh.
three, or is that 95? What is that?
No.
Oh no. All three are
Oh,
maxed.
it's all three. Oh, and 74 on an excellent enhance. Oh my god.
So, yeah, but there are a lot of players that are in, group 1 and 2 that are approaching 50, 60, 70% on excellent enhance with all three T10s. So, you're gonna have to see another evolution come up. I think one of the players in my alliance is, I think, at 95% or 96% on excellent enhance. which means that when they finish, now they'll no longer be able to like gain any points on Evo Day. They would have nothing to do, right? I'm sure they'll be banking creature remains for whatever next Evo is out, but I know quite a few players that have Evo in excellent enhance very close to done, if not done. So there are definitely players out there that might not even be able to further advance currently. So
Well, let us
Yeah.
catch up first. Let us catch up.
Yeah, that's the thing. I can't see them adding any more Evo trees around until, everyone actually, not everyone, but I would say maybe from servers 500 to 700 catch up without
so
being done
so
almost.
Cleo's asking a question here that there is excellent defense or what it's named. That is not released yet. So what he's referring to is about 8 months ago there was an this red crown spider that has now been introduced to this version of ants. Just so players know, there is two versions of this game. There's one that is available only to Chinese players, and it's released in China only. And then there's the international version that we're all playing. So in the
Mhm.
Chinese version, a lot of things happen first. So players that have access to that are able to see certain features that are not released in the international version. So, like this red crown spider, for example, has been in the Chinese version for months now. Okay, so it just recently, obviously, just recently got added to the international version that we're all playing. So, in that Chinese version, there is one additional Evo that is open. It's called Excellent Reinforcement. And so the thought is as players start to max out Excellent Enhance, that this Excellent Reinforcement Evo will be added to this version. Obviously, there's been no release of that, but in my opinion, it is getting close to the point where we're going to have to do that because, especially for the Group 1 players that have already gotten the 310s, have already pushed deep into Excellent Enhance, they're going to need something to do for Evolution Day. So that Evo tree, I suspect, will come at some point soon. But we'll have to wait and see if that's going to happen. I'll be brutally honest with you. I'm not super impressed with Excellent Enhance. The amount of creature remains that are necessary to push very low stat improvements are not really a game changer. Players that have Excellent Enhance maxed out are not gaining huge benefits for the amount of creature remains that are necessary. And I'll give you a prime example. Okay. I'm currently pushing an Excellent Enhance, like this versatile guardian ant health and versatile shooter ant health, and then eventually I'll do the carrier ant health. But just take a look to go from 16 to 17 on that requires 37,000 remains to give you a 0.5% increase in health of our squad, right? So it is a huge amount of creature remains. I mean, and then to go from like 17 to 18, which gives you another 0.5% increase, is going to cost like 40 some thousand creature remains. And then 19 to 20, I mean, like in total, you get, let's say, a 10% increase in health. which again is not huge, but the cost in creature remains is just enormous, right? So, don't push excellent enhance until you get, all three T10s, because you're going to be spending a ton of creature remains and not getting a huge amount of stat increase for your account, if that makes any sense. That's my opinion.
Yeah, no, it does make sense. Honestly, like I was thinking about the same thing. I'm almost done getting T or going to T10s for shooters, and then I'm thinking, oh, do I go excellence? But I've been told by many players that it's very pricey, and it's better to get a second T10 done. So, that's what I'm gonna go do. And I'm pretty sure a lot of the players who are thinking about it, who haven't got T10s as well as me, are probably going to do the same thing. Go for a second T10. Like I run GSS all the time, so getting my Guardian T10s done will help me a lot for PvP battles.
I mean, Draco, if you do GSS, anyone that does GSS, that without a doubt would be get your Guardian and Tutor T10s and then pursue Excellent Enhance if you want, or go after Carrier. But I think there's way more benefits getting the three T10s, even if it is just PvE, right? Your Pango scores will go up if you have all three T10s, where your creature remains necessary. You're not really gaining much in Excellent Enhance. So that's one aspect of it. But the other thing too, I kind of want to, if you guys have not done so already, please go to Live IDs, post your Live IDs. We're getting close to the end of our stage today, and 50-50 win-loss ratio, to be honest with you. That to me will mean that like there have been enough corrections to where you can go to this event and it's based more on, you know, like what teams work together best. You know, like you said, the tactics and the strategy that are used will play a much more important factor than just having an overpowered, you know, like rules to the event, so to say, right?
Right. Right.
You know, and I agree with you. Like, you know, the last Baron that we were on has been, in my opinion, the best that I have ever participated in. The teams were equally matched. When we were very, very concerned that like our camp would not win the event because of um, how active the other alliances were, the strengths that the other alliances in our opposing camp had. When we started the first battles in it, they were like literally 50-50, could have gone either way. It remained that way throughout the event. Really, we didn't have the ability to like sigh and say, okay, we got this now, until that middle clash opened up and we were able to drive out the other camp. But up until that point, we really, it could have been anyone's game. So I like the where the matchmaking is very even and there's a lot of fighting. There you go. MC is one of my alliance members, and you can look at the kill counts and see that you know it was pretty even. I mean, like we didn't really know who was going to win until it got towards, you know, towards after the middle clash was secured by one camp or the other, you know. So I think the way ours broke down was basically more that we were a more coordinated camp. We were probably a little bit more organized than it had to do with the actual strength of the alliance, because all the alliances were pretty equal. But when it came to like the actual strength of the alliances and the players that were active in those alliances, so
Yeah, I think it comes down to teammates and coordination and tactics. I mean, the tactics is definitely something that needs to be evaluated for any team going into any event. Is, oh, what are your tactics? What's your, not only what are the tactics, what is the commitment level of your player? You could have the best tactics, you just don't have the activity or the players to carry out those tactics. And that's something that can be very frustrating. Someone who knows that their plan is successful, but doesn't have the backing of their players with them, can be very frustrating. That's a very frustrating thing. Knowing that, you know, I call it the TSN turning point. You can really see when you're like, oh, that's a good move. Oh, they don't have the players to support it. Oh, we're you know, we're countering with this tower. Oh, we've now built it. Okay, now we're going after that strategic placement. They don't have the players to back. You know, when we're burning and building at the same time, it's kind of, you know, we try not to do that, but like the burn build is kind of, we're at that point right now where it's like, okay, they're the tactics right now. There's no countering us. There's nothing to counter us. So
yeah,
it's tough.
I mean that goes towards you know, a lot. I mean, there's a lot of factors that play into that, right? Like you could have the
Yeah.
strongest team part of your camp, right? But then if the protection time is during their most active, you know, that takes that ability of that team to do, you know, massive improvements or gains in the event, you know, down a couple notches, right?
Right.
You can, you know, like you know, from I will tell you from us personally, right? But you know, we're similar to Vikings in the sense that like at any given time we do have 25 or 30, you know, 25, 30 players that are available to fight, right? I would love to have it to where I could have 50 or 60, available at every fight, because I've seen teams that have that ability, right? You see that a lot with, a lot of the Asian teams. They'll have 50, 60 players show up, 70. I've seen as high as 90 players show up to a fight. Okay. And that's like absolute insanity, right? I mean, like,
Yeah.
Any team, no matter how strong you are, to face against 90 players. Now, you take that same team and you throw them on a lost island, and they're going to be decimated, right? Because during they're purposely picking a protection time that is that's going to cover the area that they are least active, right, during their sleep time or so.
Right.
So, you take that same team, put them on a lost island, all of a sudden the other teams realize that, hey, these guys are not active during this time. That's when we attack, right?
Yeah.
I've mentioned this before here on stage and in discussions with people. Like, our alliance was built more on an international platform because of how Lost Island played out, right? We were, I wasn't even part of the alliance I'm in now, but I was their enemy on Lost Island, and I purposely targeted them. It was a Korean only alliance, and I purposely targeted them during 4 a.m. in Korea, so that way we could make gains on them, and that their strongest players were not online, right? So
Right.
that whole attitude has now changed because there is protection time. So having like a rounded alliance, good thing and a bad thing. Like, the way it played out on this event was great. Okay, like, even though we only had 20 players, and sometimes our 20 players were facing 50 or 60 players from the enemy, those 20 players were able to hold off long enough to when the next shift came on. Now, all of a sudden, you have a refreshed 20 players joining the fight, and the 50 players from the other team are completely wiped of everything, now facing a fresh group of players. So those types of tactics and strategies can work sometimes, but sometimes they don't, because when you have a team that has 50 or 60 players fighting against 20, they can't hold off long enough, right? Like, until the fresh batch comes in. So you kind of have to play to the strategies of your team and how it's built, and how active your players are. But at the end of the day, really, activity is what counts, right, on these events.
100%. Activity matters. Fungi conserving, stamina consumption are all key to success in this. And I wanted to share my experience with Fast Jungle, because this is the first time we were available. It was open to us, and I'm happy to report that there is what is that? You have complete fun for 16th? Oh yeah, yeah. You're able to go to Vast Jungle as well. But yeah, so that's it. It seems like the balance has been restored, and if it wasn't for a couple of missteps, and again, I don't want to talk bad about the teams we're facing. I just think that there was some mistakes made that we capitalized on that allowed us to get to where we are. So we could have made the same mistakes and been in a situation. I remember a past Baron where we literally ran out of time before our protection time came. We were one tower away. We were 15 minutes from destroying a tower that was away from the Wonder. That if we took it in their environmental zone, it would have changed the whole. It would have changed the whole outcome of the server of the event. So it's because we placed a tower that we tried to defend that we shouldn't have done, and that was a mistake that we learned from. But it just goes to show that it's not a lopsided event anymore. I have seen about a 60-40 right now from the people that I've been talking to. 60% blue camp is winning, 40% red camp is winning. So it is balanced. I think it's more balanced, so people can at least enjoy going, knowing that you have a chance of winning. So
yeah, as long as like the first beta, it seemed that, like, if you were not on red camp, you were pretty much
you were done. You were done. There was
right?
I think there was one server, and only because that one server had 2 farm alliances that got that got Red Camp assigned to them is the only reason why they won. Like it was a walk in the park for them. They didn't even build towers. It was silly, but but now the balance is back. So anyone who has post traumatic stress, soul, can be rest assured that that going back, you'll have fun. You'll have fun again. We've had fun in this event. We're still going, and I think I don't think it's over yet. I think they're going to fight tooth and nail. They're fighting us tooth and nail for every inch. So they're not giving up. Like I find Barrenland, once you secure that North Clash zone, it's almost over, right? Like if you can push them out of that clash or have them on the run in that clash, you've pretty much can determine who's winning the tree, right? So it's good. All right. We ran over almost half hour, and I want to thank everyone for joining us today, and I really appreciate everybody staying a little bit longer and listening to us. And those of you who are in the audience who are in Vast Jungle, I hope you guys are having a good time and enjoying yourselves. But I want to thank everyone. If you haven't done so already, please post your IDs in the live post ID section. And we'll see you guys soon, I'm sure.
Yep. For sure next week, unless maybe we can organize a fight night or some new information comes out in the game. If there is an update release later today, we may open up a stage during the week. We'll obviously send out announcement for that as soon as possible. And again, if you missed the stage today and want to listen back, feel free to go to the YouTube link that's provided, and you can listen in to the stage today. But thank you guys all for joining us. As always, we really truly appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you guys next week.
Yes, thank you, everybody.
Bye, guys.